What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to the Diablo Research Institution. So Project Diablo II Season 11 is upon us. And in my experience, this has been the best way to play Diablo 2 in the past 4 or 5 years, or whenever the hell this mod came out. They added all sorts of new shit, all sorts of new items, revamped skills, new areas, different ways to get more involved into item depth and so forth. Just a damn good time, but nonetheless, Season 11 has quite a few changes, and I'll probably consider playing this. I usually play the Summon Necromancer. The Necromancer summon, or just the Necromancer in general, has a teleport skill with a minor cooldown. So does the Druid, so it makes it a little easier to select a character outside of a Sorceress. Not that I ever plays a Sorceress, but it makes sense, you know, when you're a summon character, to be able to teleport, control your summons, they all help you fight and everything else. But I'll link this Reddit link in the comments of this video. But they've changed all sorts of shit, added some in-game zones, all sorts of changes to items. Here's some triangle set changes. We have some damage reduction, some cast rate added, different frames for when you're in the vampire, things like that. But here's what's pretty cool. They have a bunch of new items coming out. And I usually check these things out because that's one of the most exciting things, is when you can play a new season and there might be a different unique item, or set items been reworked, new shit you could find. It's a spiritual journey. So here's one of them. They added the Constricting loop ring. Now this is like an old ass item from Diablo 1. I remember the Constricting ring from Diablo 1. It gave you like 75% resol. It was just ridiculous. Or it might have even given you 85, something like that. But then you would drain life as you wore it. So this was kind of inspired by that, and it might have actually been in the D2 files as well. It was just never released in the original game, but nonetheless, apparently it requires level 65, so a pretty high level requirement ring. I don't know how rare it is. Maybe it's as rare as Ravenfrost. Probably not. It's probably rarer than that. It's probably Stone of Jordan, BK ring, Wisp projector. Probably somewhere up there would be my guess. But this thing gives 20% faster cast rate. It causes monster to flee 12%, which is interesting to have on a caster ring. Maybe something like somebody who hits and casts. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. There's all sorts of new builds in this mod, so could be many things. 15 to strength, drain life minus 20. So you have to counteract that with some replenish life to get it to not impact you negatively in terms of just draining your life as you're just chilling. But really cool mod on this. 4 life after each kill, and they add that to a lot of items in this mod. And you remember how Enigma has that in regular D2. There's nothing like being a Javazan, just hurling javelins around, killing all sorts of enemies, just keeping your life pool completely full because you're gaining life as you kill shit. I think that's demon kill, however, but this one is just life after each kill, so pretty cool ring. And of course, in Project Diablo 2, you can slam items or corrupt items. You have one chance to slam every item. It has a chance to brick, or it would turn rare, but another chance that it'll add a new mod to it. And you could get an additional 10% FCR, so you'd have a 30 FCR ring, which would be a pretty good time. Let's check out this other one. Here's Epiphany, a shield, and it is a 4-socketed shield. So you have some limitations. Of course, you can make it in a paladin shield, but this one here is made in a monarch. Lowest. Pretty damn expensive. But let's see what she does. 25% chance to cast level 27 static field when struck. So we'd be chopping them away. And static field, it also reduces their lightning immunity, I believe, for a time. This actually might be an okay Javazan shield. I don't know, but there might be other characters that it would be good for as well. Level 16 energy shield when equipped. So some life preservation there, bump up your mana. where frost burns with it or something, some SOJs, and you'd be quite godly. 30 to 450 lightning damage, 125% enhanced defense, 14 to all attributes, cute little stat there. Increased maximum mana, 35%. Holy shit. A good synergy for that energy shield mod that you get on this thing. 8% to maximum light res, poison res 40, 15% damage taken gained as mana when hit. Another great mod for an energy shield item. So, I mean, what would be a good build with this? Maybe a paladin of some sort who goes around and kicks the shit out of things. I don't know. Maybe a Javazon. But that lightning damage is kind of interesting. That'll just go for your item per hit. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. Pretty cool item. And here now is a paladin shield. A vortex shield. That's part of what I like about this mod is they'll make item types that used to not have unique item bases for them, or item bases that never had uniques, like a vortex shield, for example, and they'll make a unique out of it. And there's many others that we can think of. There's like an Archon plate, for example. There's no unique Archon plate, but there is now in Project Diablo 2. It's just one of the older ones that they made a couple seasons ago. But nonetheless, a vortex shield. Holy shit, look at the defense on this thing. 585 and 75% chance to block with whatever character's looking at it right now. Level 77 requirement. 16% chance to cast level 35 cyclone armor on block. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. So you're going to be constantly buffing up that cyclone armor, and 35 at that, and that absorbs lightning, fire, and cold damage. Yeah, cyclone armor is awesome. It's the droid skill. So here are with a paladin, you're going to be casting cyclone armor. Just awesome. 2 to offensive auras, 2 to paladin skills, a max of 2. Increased chance of blocking, 20% chance crushing blow, kind of a unique mod for a shield there. Some defense, some dex. Massive cold res, pretty high lightning res, 75 cold res, 50 lightning res. So yeah, interesting shield there, but that cyclone armor is just ridiculous. You're going to be just suckling up all that elemental damage. And there are a lot of good paladins in PD2. Good as in, like, different varieties, you know? I mean, there's splash damage in PD2 for one, so that was one of the reasons I initially played it. Because I was playing a Frenzy Barb during the end of me playing Diablo 2. Before I jumped into these mods, and then Path of Diablo came out, and PD2 came out. Path of Diablo came first, and they were like, Iceman, there's freaking splash damage. I was like, what the hell does that mean? They're like, well, just like what you've been wanting, if you hit an enemy, it makes melee more viable. You can do AoE damage with just your regular hits. They all just do a little tiny radius around where you're hitting to help make physical characters a bit more viable. So I was like, holy shit, really? So I jumped on, and yeah, this is the best way to play Diablo 2. I just love me some Project Diablo 2, and let me know if you're going to be playing it this season. Let's check out another item or two here. So we have Whispering Mirage, a War Fist. So 198 to 240 damage. Let's see here. There's a melee attack. Yeah, all melee items have that melee attack deal splash damage added to them. All the melee items, even like a base one, like a plain javelin, has that. It's quite nice. 8%, negative 8% to enemy physical res. Cute little thing there. You may summon 1 additional shadow. You can have 2 freaking shadow masters. And I actually tried it on D2R the other day, and they're quite viable. Same thing with PD2. She's a pretty damn good summon. And yes, it is a she, because these are the old graphics. This isn't D2R. You know, that, yeah, this is the old days. So, I mean, Project Diablo 2 is a good damn time. It's the old graphics. They made it into widescreen. They upscaled the shit and everything. So it's pretty awesome. 2 to assassin skills. Just set at that. That's quite nice. Faster cast rate. Pretty nice for an assassin for some of your fun little cast skills. 230% enhanced damage. Some massive undead damage. 3 to Shadow Master. 2 to Shadow Warrior. So I mean, what happens if you have 2 of these? You know, if you have 1 in each hand, does that mean you can have 3 freaking shadows out at a time? Just how godly that would be. I wouldn't doubt that's the case. So that would be interesting. And here's Firelizard's Talon. They just reamped it a little bit, make it a little bit more viable. As you can see here, 25% chance cast level 40 blaze when block or on block. So if you have your little claw block thing or you have a shield, either way, You block, you cast Blaze. Blaze in PD2, you run faster while it's active. You have increased faster run walks. You run around, leaving a trail of fire behind your footies. Just an awesome skill, and it does more damage. I mean, everything's been buffed up in this game that used to suck. So, I mean, yeah, it makes things a lot more viable, and a lot more experimental builds here. You know, a lot more variety in what can be acceptable in terms of its viability, which is one of the reasons why I like PD2. Because they've balanced, these are real fans who are making this, you know, who are working on this. They really balance shit out, they incentivize you to try other things, and things that used to just plain suck. So massive enhanced damage, 236 to 480 fire damage, negative 15% fire res on enemies, which is its common skill point that you get on this thing. One of the only reasons you'd wear it, not that you ever would, but now you have a good reason. You got the Blaze, and you got some massive fire damage here. Pretty good one-hand damage. Yeah, very nice item. And now check this out. Here's an interesting one. A Grand Matron Bow. All right. This is something that we've never seen before in Diablo 2. There's never a Grand Matron Bow. And here it is. Freaking Ebonbane, or Ebonbane, is how you say that? 74 to 381 damage. Not bad. You may apply an additional curse. Now, Iceman, why would you care about curses? You're in Amazon. You don't have curses. Well, think about it. For one, this thing casts a curse in itself. 12% chance to cast level 16. Weaken on striking, and weaken's been improved in PD2 to my understanding. So you're casting that like crazy. What else could you cast? Well, you could put Atma's Scarab Amulet on. Imagine that. You're casting another curse, freaking amp damage and weaken combined. Just how godly that would be. And there are other items added in this mod that have curse on striking. So I'm sure there's all sorts of things you can apply to that. But nice item graphic here as well. It's another cool thing about this. They did stuff like artwork and all that that just fits the aesthetic, and just look at how integrated that looks in the game. It looks like it's supposed to be there. But yeah, it's just why I love this mod. I mean, it makes new items that, you know, you're thinking in the past, like, where the hell is the unique Grand Matron Bow? Where the hell is the unique Archon Plate? And there's many others, but in addition, they've added new uniques just beyond just the bases that used to not have any uniques to them. Like there's a unique Conquest Sword as well that last I remember you got it from like Diablo Clone or Rathmar or some shit. New endgame content in here, but 5 to passive and magic skills, pretty massive there. And with Amazon, you can have multiple Valkyries out. I think every 10 points you get an additional Valkyrie, so Valkyrie is just crazy in this mod. It's very good. So that's going to be very helpful. Faster run walk, 30%. And holy shit, 60% increased attack. And remember, with unique items, you can slam them. You could probably get 3 sockets in this, maybe 4 sockets. I can't remember what the max. I think it's 4 in this mod for big 2-handed bows that allow for them. So then we have 3 to evade, 3 to dodge, 5 to magic arrow, which is a nice skill too. Holy blasted blood toad. And look at this. Throwing weapons can now obtain sockets. And you can make rune words in your throwables, all right? Which include Steel, Malice, Zephyr, is how you say that? Strength, King's Grace, Lawbringer. Imagine freaking Lawbringer in a Javelin. You'd be casting Decrepify, which I think it still casts in this mod, while hurling your freaking Javelins. Crescent Moon, are you kidding me? You're gonna be able to pierce the shit out of their lightning res. You can make a crescent moon in one of your javelins. Venom, Fury, Plague. Plague with a low resist. Holy shit. Imagine crescent moon or Plague on a freaking Javazon. But yeah, here's the sockets that these items can get. So a lot of javelins, I'm sure. Types are gonna be able to get 3 sockets to make like Plague or the other one we were talking about, Crescent Moon. Harpoon gets up to 3 sockets. Ceremonial gets 2. Oh, Matriarchal gets 2. Oh, they did us dirty there. The Maiden gets 2. Oh, okay. So you're going to have like a winged harpoon or some shit. Wow, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, they're playing hard to get here because you're not going to be able to make that in an Amazon one, but that's fine. You know, you're going to have to go for a winged harpoon. So you're making old shit that you would never touch viable now. You're going to be searching for those ghost glaives and winged harpoons and all that crap. So, wow, what a spiritual journey that would be. But anyway, people are looking forward to it. Summon Sin is what people are commenting. Socketable throwing weapons. Skywarden visual is just gorgeous. Yeah, that shield, just godly. Some naughty words here, but yeah, that's just Reddit, right? Naughty words and all that, but yeah, hot damn. Crescent Moon on a lightning Javazon will be fun, somebody says. Yep, won't be able to make it in good javelins by the looks of it. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, they must have thought it'd be too powerful or something. They didn't want you to make it in the matriarchal or the ceremonial. But nonetheless, guys, if you will, like this video. Let me know if you're going to be playing PD2. Subscribe to the page. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace be with you.